The Alien Academy was known across the stars as a place of peace. Here, young minds from many species gathered to study history, science, and culture. The wide halls were filled with colors of 100 banners, and the classrooms echoed with voices from a dozen worlds. It was meant to be safe, calm, and civilized, but on this day, things changed. The class of interspecies relations was about to begin. Alien students sat at long desks, their eyes glowing in the dim light, their scales, feathers, and shells shining in different colors. They whispered to one another, curious and excited. Today, the humans were joining them. Humans were new to the academy. They came from a planet the aliens called a Deathworlder world, filled with storms, volcanoes, and beasts that would kill most alien species in seconds. For this reason, many aliens looked at humans with a strange mix of fear and curiosity. They were strong, unpredictable, and full of strange habits. And today, the humans brought something else with them. The tall doors opened, and 3 humans entered the classroom. They looked normal enough, 2 young men and 1 young woman, all dressed in the dark uniforms of the academy. But behind them rolled carts and cages covered with dark cloths. The cages rattled and shook as something inside moved. The aliens stared. "What is this?" One reptilian student whispered to his neighbor. "They brought creatures," another replied, his antenna twitching nervously. "Pets," the human girl said with a smile, hearing their whispers. "We thought we'd show you." The word pets made the aliens laugh. Pets, in alien culture, were harmless animals, small glowing fish that floated in water tanks, gentle winged insects that sang songs, soft creatures kept for beauty or calm. Nothing dangerous, nothing wild, so the idea of Deathworlders bringing pets made them chuckle. The reptilian student hissed loudly. "Humans call those things pets. What are they? Worms from your mud." The aliens laughed harder, but their laughter died when the humans pulled away the cloths. The first cage revealed a beast that looked like a wolf, its fur dark, its teeth white and sharp as knives. Its golden eyes glowed in the dim light, and the sound of its growl made the room shiver. The second crate opened, and a bird-like creature spread its wings. Feathers of red and black shimmered under the lights, and hidden beneath the wings were claws long enough to tear steel. Its cry echoed through the room, high and piercing. The last box revealed something smaller, bigger than a catbutt. Its body was covered in spikes that bristled like weapons. Its eyes glowed bright green, and when it hissed, the air around it seemed to shimmer with heat. The aliens froze. Their laughter vanished, replaced with silence. Even the reptilian student who mocked earlier leaned back, his scales turning pale. These are dangerous," an insectoid student whispered, his wings trembling. The human boy chuckled. "Dangerous, maybe, but they're loyal, they're ours." The wolf-like beast growled again, but when the human girl raised her hand, it sat down quietly, eyes still burning with wild power. The bird tilted its head and folded its wings neatly. Even the spiked creature curled against the human's boot like a harmless kitten. The aliens could not believe it. One avian student finally spoke, his beak clicking nervously. You keep these as pets on your world." The human nodded. "On Earth, these are normal. They live with us, hunt with us, protect us. We don't see them as monsters. They're family." The classroom remained silent. The aliens stared, their hearts beating faster. For them, a creature like this would be locked in the deepest cages, studied as a threat, or killed before it could harm anyone. But the humans stood calmly beside them, smiling as if nothing was wrong. Then something happened. The reptilian student, still trying to save his pride, laughed weakly. They are still just animals. They obey because they are weak. He stretched out his claw and snapped it at the wolf, mocking it. The wolf's growl deepened. It rose to its feet, muscles rippling under its fur. Its golden eyes fixed on the reptilian. Every alien in the room felt the danger. Their instincts screamed at them to run. The human girl placed her hand on the wolf's neck. "Easy," she whispered. Instantly, the beast lowered itself again, silent, obedient. The aliens gasped. How could something so deadly bow so easily? How could humans control such power with nothing but a touch and a word? The insectoid student whispered what everyone else was thinking. "If these are just your pets, what are you?" The humans did not answer. They only smiled. The classroom, that had once been filled with laughter, was now filled with silence. Every alien sat still, their eyes wide, their bodies tense. The lesson had only begun, but already the aliens felt regret. They had laughed at human pets. They had thought them weak. But now, looking into those golden eyes and hearing those deadly growls, they wondered if they had made a terrible mistake. And deep inside, a seed of fear was planted. If the pets of Deathworlders were this terrifying, what horrors waited on the death world itself? The classroom was no longer a place of safety. It was a place of shadows and questions. And the aliens, for the first time, were afraid to know the answers. Asterisk, the pets revealed. The classroom was no longer filled with whispers and laughter. It was filled with silence so heavy that even the hum of the lights seemed loud. The aliens sat, stiff in their seats, eyes locked on the cages, their hearts beating too fast. The humans stood calmly beside their pets, as if nothing strange had happened. The wolf's golden eyes glowed in the dim light. The bird stretched its wings once more, sharp claws flashing like blades. The small spiked creature hissed softly, as if daring anyone to move closer. The alien students could not look away. The avian student, his feathers trembling, leaned toward his desk partner and whispered, "They are predators. True predators. Why bring them here?" The human boy heard him and answered without anger. "Because you asked about Earth. You wanted to know what life is like there. This is Earth. This is survival." His words carried weight. The aliens exchanged nervous glances. The teacher of the class, an old alien scholar with silver scales, finally cleared his throat. His voice trembled. "Humans, perhaps this was not wise. These creatures do not belong in a classroom. They belong in cages, far from young minds." The human girl shook her head gently. "No, you don't understand. They are not just beasts. They are family, partners. On Earth, we live with them. We fight beside them. They are part of us." The wolf raised its head, ears flicking. The spiked creature moved closer to the girls. Boot, curling into a protective ball. The bird perched on the human boy's arm, sharp claws gripping the fabric but not piercing the skin. The aliens gasped again. The trust was shocking. No predator in their worlds would act this way. The reptilian student, still trying to regain his courage, hissed loudly, "Tricks. You trained them with fear, nothing more." The human boy's eyes hardened. He reached down and scratched the spiked creature's head gently. The spikes lowered, and the small beast purred like a soft engine. "Fear," the human said quietly. "No, loyalty, respect. They trust us. That is something your kind never understood. The words struck the reptilian like a blade. His scales flushed with anger, but he dared not move. The wolf's eyes never left him. The insectoid student raised his trembling hand. These animals, they look stronger than our war beasts. Are they really common on Earth? The human girl nodded. Yes, there are wolves, tigers, bears, eagles, even creatures bigger than these. On Earth, danger is everywhere. Even the smallest insect can kill. Every day is survival. Her words spread fear like cold water over fire. The aliens had heard whispers of Earth's dangers, but they never believed them. They thought humans exaggerated to make themselves look stronger. But now, with these pets in front of them, the truth was undeniable. The avian student tilted his head, his feathers rising. If even your pets are dangerous, how did you survive such a place? The human boy smiled faintly. By becoming stronger than everything else. The answer was simple, but it carried power. The aliens sat frozen, their minds filled with images of a world where even a pet could tear them apart. The wolf growled softly again, but it was not anger, it was a warning. The reptilian student flinched, his pride breaking further. Then, something happened that made the fear real. One of the alien pets, a small, glowing rodent kept by an avian student, escaped its cage. It scurried across the floor, squeaking. In panic, the alien student leapt up, trying to grab it, but the rodent darted away. The class erupted in shouts as the tiny creature ran past the wolf's cage. The wolf's head snapped toward it. In a single movement, it lunged. The cage door rattled, but the human girl's hand shot out first. She touched the wolf's neck, and instantly it froze. The rodent escaped unharmed, hiding behind its alien master. The aliens stared in disbelief. A predator had stopped itself at a single human command. No alien species could do that. The teacher's silver scales shimmered with unease. His voice shook as he said, "This is unnatural." The human girl shook her head. "This is trust. On Earth, we live in danger every day. Our animals learned to live with us, and we learned to live with them. That is why they listen. That is why they protect." Her words echoed in the classroom. The insectoid student leaned back, whispering to himself, if this is what their pets are like, then what are humans themselves? The room grew colder. No one laughed anymore. No one mocked. Every alien felt the same quiet fear. The humans stood silently, their pets calm and obedient by their sides. Their presence was like a shadow that filled the room. For the first time, the aliens began to regret their curiosity. They had wanted to see human pets. They thought it would be amusing. But now they understood the truth. On a death world, even a pet was a predator, and even a predator could become family. The lesson was not over, but already the aliens felt the weight of it pressing on their hearts. And deep inside, one thought refused to leave their minds. If the pets of Deathworlders were this terrifying, what would happen if the humans themselves ever turned their fury against the galaxy? Asterisk, the first incident. The classroom was quiet, but not with peace. It was the heavy silence of fear. The aliens sat frozen, their eyes darting between the humans and their pets. Every move of the wolf, every flick of the bird's wings, every hiss of the spiked creature made their hearts race. The humans stood calm, almost too calm. They whispered to their animals, touched them gently, and the creatures obeyed. To the Aliens. This was unnatural. On their worlds, predators obeyed no one, but here, in front of their eyes, Deathworld beasts sat like disciplined soldiers. The tension was unbearable, and then the silence shattered. One alien student, a young reptilian, with scales bright green, wanted to prove his courage. He could not bear the shame of trembling before humans. His pride pushed him forward. He leaned down to the small glowing rodent he kept as a pet. The rodent was harmless, soft and timid, a pet meant only for comfort. But today, the reptilian had a cruel idea. He opened his pet's cage and nudged it toward the spiked human creature. "Go on," he hissed. "Show them these monsters are nothing." The rodent squeaked nervously, but the reptilian shoved it forward again. The tiny creature stumbled across the floor, trembling as it approached the spiked beast. The spiked beast lifted its head. Its glowing green eyes locked on the rodent. The air grew hot, faint waves of heat shimmering around its body. The classroom held its breath. The rodent squealed in panic and ran forward, trying to bite the spiked beast. What happened next was too fast for most eyes. The spiked beast uncurled in a flash. Its spine shot upward, and with a hiss like burning steam, it struck. The rodent flew backward, knocked away like a leaf in a storm. The desk rattled as it hit the floor, squealing in terror. The reptilian gasped, his pride broken, his pet squeaking, in pain. But the horror was not finished. The wolf had risen. Its golden eyes blazed as it stepped forward, teeth bared, growling deep and low. The sound vibrated in every alien chest. The bird spread its wings wide, feathers glowing red as its claws clacked against the floor. The humans did not move. They did not panic. They stood calm as their beasts prepared to strike again. The aliens, however, screamed. Desks scraped. Wings fluttered. Some students leaped to the walls. Others dove onto tables. The reptilian backed away, his scales pale, his pet squealing in his hands. The wolf growled louder, and the bird screeched, a sound that pierced the air like a blade. The classroom was chaos, but then silence again. The human girl raised her hand and snapped her fingers. Instantly, the wolf stopped. Its teeth closed, but the growl faded. The bird folded its wings neatly, standing tall once more. Even the spiked creature curled back into a ball, resting at the human boy's feet. The aliens froze. Their screams died. They stared in disbelief. The humans had stopped them with a gesture. Just one command, one touch, and the predators obeyed. The reptilian sat trembling, clutching his pet rodent, his pride shattered completely. His voice shook as he whispered, They could have killed us all." The human boy looked at him with calm eyes. "They didn't, because we told them not to." Those words hit the classroom harder than any growl. The aliens whispered to each other in fear. They control them with only words. No, with something else, something stronger. The teacher, his silver scales dimmed, finally spoke. His voice was quiet, almost broken. "On our worlds, predators fight until nothing is left. They know no master. They know no bond. Yet here, these monsters sit at your feet as if you are their gods. Tell me, humans, how is this possible?" The human girl looked around the classroom. Her voice was steady, almost gentle, because on Earth, we learned to live with danger. We did not run from it. We faced it. We grew beside it. These animals are not slaves. They are family. They protect us because we protect them. Her words carried a weight the aliens could not deny. The insectoid student whispered, "If they protect you like this, what do you protect them from?" The human boy's eyes darkened from everything else. The aliens shivered. What kind of world needed guardians like these? What kind of place forced even pets to become predators? The wolf lay down calmly, its golden eyes still watching every alien carefully. The bird ruffled its feathers, sharp claws scratching the floor. The spiked creature purred softly, the heat fading from its body. The classroom was quiet again, but it was no longer the silence of curiosity. It was the silence of fear. Every alien realized the truth. If this was how dangerous human pets were, then the humans themselves must be far more dangerous. The insectoid whispered again, his wings trembling. If these are pets, what are their masters? No one answered. The humans stood silently, their faces calm, their eyes unreadable. But in the hearts of every alien in the room, the answer was already clear. Deathworlders were not just survivors. They were rulers of danger, and for the first time, the aliens regretted asking to see human pets, because now they had seen too much. Asterisk panic spreads the classroom, never felt the same again. Even after the humans and their pets left, the alien students sat in silence, their minds heavy with fear. The image of glowing golden eyes, sharp claws, and deadly spikes haunted them. But fear does not stay in one place. It spreads. By the next day, every corner of the academy was buzzing with whispers. Students from other classes gathered in groups, wings fluttering and tails twitching nervously. They brought predators into the classroom, one insectoid hissed. Not predators, another corrected. Guardians, soldiers, trained to kill, trained to obey, added an avian, his feathers ruffled with fear. The story grew with every telling. Some said the wolf could tear through steel. Others claimed the bird's claws could cut through armor. A few whispered that the small spiked beast could burn a city with its heat. None of it mattered. The truth was already frightening enough. The humans had shown their pets, and the galaxy was not ready for what it saw. In the academy's staff chamber, teachers argued. The silver-scaled instructor slammed his tail against the floor. This is madness. Deathworld creatures do not belong here. The humans must be punished. A feathered elder shook her head. Punished? Did you not see? They controlled those monsters with ease. If they wished harm, we would all be dead. The chamber grew cold. None could deny it. The humans had broken no rule, yet they had shaken the academy to its core. The debate spread to the city outside. Citizens whispered in the markets, workers murmured in the factories, leaders spoke behind closed doors. Everyone was asking the same question. If the pets of Deathworlders are this terrifying, then what is humanity itself? The council of the city gathered that evening. Tall windows looked out to the twin moons, but no one admired the view. There, voices trembled with worry. One insectoid official clicked his mandibles nervously. We must ban these creatures. They are too dangerous. A reptilian elder hissed. Ban them, and then what? Offend the humans. You saw how easily their pets crushed our beasts. Do you want to see what their armies can do? Another voice, softer but filled with dread, whispered, Perhaps we already have. Silence fell. The rumors grew darker. Some said the humans did not just train their pets, they bred them for war. Others said these were not pets at all, but weapons disguised as animals. By the third day, The academy was under guard. Alien soldiers marched through the halls, their weapons raised, their eyes darting nervously. They claimed it was for safety, but everyone knew the truth. They feared the humans' return, and still the humans came. Calm, smiling, with their pets walking beside them. The wolf padded silently, eyes glowing. The bird perched high, watching everything. The spiked creature crawled lazily, leaving faint marks of heat on the ground. The soldiers tightened their grip on their weapons whenever the humans passed, but none dared to fire. They had seen the control humans held over their beasts. If a finger snap could stop a predator's attack, then what could a command to attack unleash? In the cafeteria, alien students sat huddled at one side, their voices hushed. The humans sat at the other, feeding their pets casually. The wolf chewed on meat, the bird nibbled on seeds, and the spiked creature licked water from a metal bowl. To humans, this was normal. To aliens, it was terror. One insectoid student whispered to her friend, "They treat killers like pets. They smile as if this is normal. What kind of world makes this normal?" Her friend answered softly, "A death." The word alone sent a chill down her wings. The panic spread even further. Outside the academy walls, alien parents demanded answers. Was the academy safe? Should their children be sent home? Could humans even be trusted? Alien news networks ran stories with flashing headlines. Deathworld beasts in our schools. Are humans bringing war animals into our cities? Council divided on human pets. Every broadcast only fueled the fear that night, in private homes, aliens locked their doors tighter. They whispered about Earth, about the death world, about the humans who walked among them. Stories grew into legends. Some said Earth's forests were filled with monsters larger than ships. Others swore humans raised beasts that could crush armies, and yet, in every story, one truth returned. These pets obeyed humans completely. That was what frightened them the most, because if humans could tame creatures that no alien would dare touch, then what else could they control? In the staff chamber, the silver-scaled teacher spoke again, his voice filled with despair. I watched the wolf stare down a student. If the girl had not snapped her fingers, he would be dead. Do you not understand? These humans hold death at their fingertips, and we allow them to walk among us freely. The feathered elder looked at him with tired eyes. Yes, we allow it, because we cannot stop it. Her words fell heavy on the room. No one argued. They all knew she spoke the truth. The panic had spread too far. It was no longer just about the pets. It was about what they represented. A mirror of Earth itself. A world where everything fought to survive. A world that forged humans into something the galaxy did not understand. And now, the galaxy wondered if it could survive them. In the academy dorms, alien students lay awake, unable to sleep. The growl of the wolf echoed in their minds. The bird's piercing cry rang in their ears. The heat of the spiked creature seemed to burn their dreams. They had wanted to learn about humans, but instead they had learned about fear. The fear of Deathworlders. The fear of what they carried with them, and the fear of what would happen when the galaxy finally pushed them too far. The lesson: the academy could no longer pretend to be calm. Soldiers patrolled the halls, students whispered in fear, and the council sent inspectors to watch the humans. Yet nothing changed. The humans still came every day, walking with quiet confidence, their pets at their side. The wolf padded silently. golden eyes glowing. The bird perched proudly, its wings folded like blades. The spiked creature moved lazily, leaving faint trails of heat behind. To the humans, this was ordinary. To everyone else, it was terror walking in plain sight. The final lesson of the week was meant to be simple: cultural exchange. Students were asked to share traditions from their worlds. Some brought songs, others told stories. A few displayed harmless animals or glowing crystals. The class was calm again, at least for a moment. Then it was the humans' turn. The alien students shifted nervously. Some wanted to leave, others whispered warnings, but no one moved. Their eyes stayed fixed on the humans as they carried their pets to the front of the room. The human girl smiled gently. "Today, we will teach you something important. Not about us, but about survival." She knelt beside the wolf and whispered in its ear. The great beast stood tall, its muscles rippling, but it did not move. She pointed to the spiked creature, and it uncurled, its green eyes burning. The bird spread its wings, letting its feathers shine red like fire. The aliens gasped, their bodies stiffening in fear. Some pressed against the walls. The human boy raised his voice. "On Earth, danger is everywhere. Every tree hides a hunter. Every river hides a killer. Every step can end your life. That is why we do not fight the world. We live with it." The wolf growled low, but when the girl touched its neck, it went silent again. "This," she continued, "is trust. These creatures are dangerous, yes, but they are not our slaves. They choose to follow us because we protect them, and they protect us." The room was silent. The aliens could not believe it. Predators choosing loyalty. On their worlds, predators killed until nothing was left. Yet here, these monsters obeyed like family. The reptilian student, who once mocked the humans, spoke at last, his voice trembling. "Why? Why do they listen to you? Why not turn on you?" The human girl looked at him with calm eyes. "Because we earned it. On Earth, loyalty is not given. It is earned through respect, through strength, through care. You cannot control danger with fear. You must walk beside it." The alien students exchanged nervous glances. For them, this idea was impossible. They built cages for danger. They built weapons to destroy it. But humans walked with danger at their heels and smiled. The insectoid student whispered, "If even your pets are this deadly, then what are you, humans?" The boy answered with a voice that carried through the room like a blade. "We are Deathworlders. We are the ones who learned to survive when everything wanted us dead. If our pets frighten you, then imagine what we are like when we fight." The words struck like thunder. No one moved. No one spoke. The wolf's golden eyes swept across the room. The bird let out a piercing cry that made every alien flinch. The spiked creature hissed, its heat shimmering in the air. And then, at a single word from the humans, all three fell silent again. The aliens realized the truth. These were not just animals. They were symbols. Symbols of Earth itself. A death world where survival meant strength. A world that had shaped its children into something the galaxy could never understand. The teacher, his silver scales dull with fear, finally whispered, "The lesson is clear," and it was. The aliens had thought humans were strange. They had thought human pets would be weak, amusing, maybe even laughable. But what they found instead was fear. Fear of a world that created predators sharper than their weapons. Fear of humans who could tame monsters with nothing but trust. Fear of what might happen if that same trust turned into fury. The bell rang, signaling the end of class, but no one moved. The humans gathered their pets calmly, as if nothing strange had happened, and walked to the door. The wolf padded after them, the bird perched high, the spiked creature crawling silently. Before leaving, the human boy turned back once more. His eyes swept across the trembling aliens. "Remember this lesson," he said quietly. "On Earth, even our pets are dangerous. If you fear them, then know this humans are worse." The door closed behind them. For a long moment, the classroom remained silent. Not a whisper, not a breath, only the echo of those words. The reptilian student finally lowered his head, his pride gone. The insectoid shivered, wings trembling. The avian student buried his beak in his feathers, refusing to look up. They all understood. The humans had not just brought pets to class, they had brought a message. And the message was this: humanity was born from a world of predators, a world of storms and fire, a world where weakness meant death. If even their pets could terrify an entire academy, then what would their armies do to the galaxy? The answer was clear. The aliens regretted their laughter. They regretted their arrogance. They regretted ever asking to see the pets of Deathworlders, because now the galaxy would never forget what it had seen.